That's it. 21. Find a formula for the inverse. Anytime you see inverse, you're going to switch the x and y. And again, f of x is y. So that's going to be x is equal to the cube root of y plus 5. And then solve for y. Add your 5, or minus the 5. Okay, so I have x minus 5 is equal to the cube root of y. And then how do I get rid of the cube root? I cube it. Y is equal to x minus 5 cubed. (22). Okay, so find the horizontal and vertical asymptotes, then sketch the graph. Okay. Let's do that. Okay, so horizontal. Horizontal is based on if it's bigger on top, okay, you'll have to divide it out. If it's bigger on the bottom, it's automatically 0. Okay, and what I'm talking about bigger, the power of x. So is the power of x bigger on the bottom? Yes. So my horizontal is automatically y is equal to 0. My vertical, and on the exam, your horizontal will be y is equal to 0, guaranteed. Okay. Vertical, what two numbers could I plug in here to make the bottom equal to 0? That's vertical, so that would be 5 and -5. So those are your two vertical. X equals 5, x equals -5. It'll work exactly like this. This will be a square number, so it might be 36, so it'd be 6 and 6. It might be 49, so it'd be 7 and 7, so on. Okay, so then they want you to sketch that with the asymptotes. So the horizontal is this way. Vertical is 5 and -5. Let's claim those are 5. Okay, now we got to sketch it. Okay, so how do we do that? How do we sketch this? And what does it look like? Okay, if you look, remember back to the basic graphs. Okay, so 1 over x. Okay, the graph looked like this, right? 1 over x squared. Well, it turned everything. It took this and moved it up. So 1 over x squared looks like this. And again, this is the exact one you'll see on the final. So it has x squared on the bottom. Now, notice how it's negative. So the top is negative. So what happens to these? These get flipped going down. Okay, so the outside edges will look like this. Oh, shoot, I'm sorry. They're on the same side. Okay, so that's the basic. Now there's something in the middle. And this is what some people missed on the exam 3. Okay, so the outside looks like this. And remember, it's because it got flipped down. Now the middle is going to look like this. Okay. And that is how it will work on the test. If these two are down, this is going to be up. Okay, and it's because it's just a simple number in front. Okay, so if it's negative, it's up. Okay, if it's positive, it's down here. And then these two, if it's positive, these should be up. That's the simplest way I can explain that. Next one. Solve the rational, write the answer in interval notation. Okay, notice the denominators are the same, so you can move everything to one side. Okay, so I'm going to do that by, since it's positive x, moving it over by 5 minus x over x squared plus 9x plus 20. And when is it greater than or equal to 0? This is the number line question. Okay, and what you got to figure out, since it's, is what makes this 0 or an asymptote. Okay, so find all zeros, find all asymptotes. So the first one is the zeros. So it's 5. And it's because 5 minus 5 is equal to 0. 0 divided by whatever is going to be 0. Now, it's greater than or equal to, so it can be equal to. Okay, so it's going to be a bracket. Then find the asymptotes. This is infinity. This is negative infinity. So set the bottom equal to 0, so I can factor that to be x plus 4, x plus 5. My two zeros on the bottom would be negative 4 and negative 5. Those are, so I'm going to plug those here, negative 5, negative 4. Okay, notice you can't have 0 on the bottom, so these are parentheses. And so now we have it set up, our number line. We just need to figure out when is it greater than or equal to 0 or positive. When is it positive? So we just start plugging in random numbers. It's one in this interval, one in this one, one in this one, one in this one, and see which one they're positive. Okay. So the first interval, I'm going to plug in from negative infinity to negative 5. I'm going to plug in something in that interval. So I'm going to say negative 6. And I'm trying to see, is it positive? So when I plug this in to this equation, is it positive? So 5 minus negative 6 over negative 6 plus 4, negative 6 plus 5. And again, I don't care really what number it is. I want to know, is it positive? Okay, so at this point, I can just write positive or negative. So 5 minus a negative, that's 5 plus 6, which is 11. That's positive. Divided by negative 6 plus 4 is negative. Negative 6 plus 5 is negative. Plus over negative times a negative is a positive. Positive over positive is a positive. So this interval is greater than or equal to 0? Yes, that's 1. So that's positive. Then you got to do that for all three. Okay. So this one, I'm going to plug in. So from negative 5, negative 4, I'm going to plug in, I don't know, negative 4.5. So 5 minus negative 4.5 divided by negative 4.5 plus 4 negative 4.5 plus 5. Which is equal to negative 5 minus a minus makes a positive, divided by negative 4.5 plus 4 is a negative. Negative 4.5 plus 5 is a positive. So positive, a negative times a positive is a negative. Positive divided by a negative is a negative. So this is a negative. Two more. So from negative 4 to 5, make sure that's a bracket. I can plug in, I'm going to plug in 0. So 5 minus 0, 0 plus 4, 0 plus 5. Positive, 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 positive. And the last one, so that one checks out. That's a good one. Looking for greater than or equal to 0. The last one is 5 to infinity. I'm going to plug in 6. 5 minus 6 over 6 plus 4, 6 plus 5. It's negative on top. Positive, 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 which is a negative. So which two are greater than or equal to 0? This one and this one. So my answers are going to be negative infinity to negative 5. And which is the U sign? Oh. Negative 4 to 5. How long does it take for 1825 to double? Okay, double, which means what? 1825 to double means I want this to be 3650. I took 1825 times 2. That's how much I want. If it is invested in 9.5%, so my rate is going to be 0.095. Compounded continuously, that word means PE to the RT, PERT. Round your answer to 2 decimal places. So we fill in this, and we're looking for T. How much do I want? Goes there, so 3650 equals 1825. E to the rate of 0.095 times 2. Start solving. You're solving for T, so you got to get rid of this. So 3650 divided by 1825. Don't minus that. I've seen that on tests. It's divided by, it's 2. Equals E to the 0.095. T, how do I get rid of E? Getting rid of E deals with natural log. So I got to take the natural log of both sides. So now I'm left with a natural log of 2 is equal to, those cross off, 0.095 T, and then I divide by 0.095. So T is going to be natural log of 2 divided by 0.095. Now, make sure you close off this parenthesis. So plug that in your calculator. Make sure you know how to plug that in. And the answer to 2 decimal places, the answer is 7.29628, so on. But we only want 2 decimal places. So the 6 is the rounding number. The 6 will round up. So 29 will round up to 30. Next, solve it. Round your answer to 4 decimal places. Okay, so we can't ever solve anything that has these 2 things in it. We got to condense it first. Okay, so when we condense this thing, it's a plus. Okay, are the bases the same? Yes. What is the base? Log base 12. And since it's a plus, what are we doing to this and this? Well, we're going to multiply. So that'd be x minus 1 times x plus 3. Equal to 1. So that's how we condense it. Now, let's go ahead and rewrite it. What is the base? The base is 12. So 12 to this power is equal to x minus 1, x plus 3. 12 to the first power is 12. FOIL this out would be x squared. Minus 1x plus 3x would be plus 2x minus 3. We just got to solve for x. Make sure the number you plug in has to be, you can't do a negative number in here. Okay. So we're going to minus the 12. So 0 is equal to x squared plus 2x minus the 12 is minus 15. 2 numbers that multiply up to negative 15 but add up to 2 would be x minus, no, x plus 5, x minus 3. X is equal to negative 5. X is equal to 3. Now, are those both correct? Again, you can't have a negative in this parenthesis. So if I plug in negative 5 minus 1 gives me negative 6. Can't do that. So that one's out. Can 3 work? 3 minus 1 is 2. That's positive. 3 plus 3 is 6. That's positive. Your answer is 3. Elimination. So solve by elimination means we need to, and some of them might be substitution. Some of them might say substitution on there, but they all work out the same. And if you just like the elimination method, you don't have to do the substitution method. Okay, so I like the elimination. Okay, so even if it says substitution, do the elimination. that's what you like. So I'm going to multiply everything by 4. And that would give me negative 12x plus minus 8y. And I did 4 because I wanted these y's to cross off. So 4 times negative 2 is positive 8, or negative 8. And that will cross that off. It's equal to 4. So now those two are my equations. And I just add going down. So that'd be negative 11x. This goes away, is equal to negative 33. So x is equal to 3. And it'll be whole numbers like this. It'll, we won't get fractions or anything like that. When I plug it back in, I'm going to plug it back into the second one. That seems simpler. 3 plus 8y is equal to negative 37. I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. Get 8y is equal to negative 40. Divide by 8, y is equal to negative 5. So my answer is going to be 3, negative 5. They're going to give you, like, if it doesn't work out, write a lot of different things. It's going to say write something in whole numbers or whatever like that. It's going to work out. You're going to get 2 answers. Okay. And the last one. Graph the original function by telling how the equation was shifted, stretched, reflected, compressed. Give the domain and range. Okay, so graph the original function. That'd be radical x. That's what that looks like. So radical x looks like the graph. That. Now, how is it shifted, stretched, reflected, and compressed? So let's go through it. That's a vertical shift. And that would be down 1. This. Remember, it's opposite of what you think. -4, you would think left, but it's opposite. This is moving it a horizontal shift. Right 4. This, just a 2. That's a stretch. That's the stretch or compress. It's going to be a stretch. It's compressed if it is less than 1. So it's a fraction. So this is a stretch of 2. This means it's flipped over the x-axis. Okay, so remember, you have to pick all those boxes. You have to say how much it's shifted, so on, so on, so on. So the graph, once you do all that, it'll look like down 1, we'll put it there. Right 4 would put it 1, 2, 3, 4. Down 1. Okay. Stretched of 2. Okay, so it'd be a little bit farther, but and then it's flipped, so it looks something like this. Okay. Now, that's the basic graph. Now give the domain and range. Domain, it's your x values. Range is your y. Domain, x. Where does it start? Going. Not here, not here, not here, not here. Starts at 4. Bracket 4 because it does hit at 4. And where does it end? Well, it keeps going on to the right forever. So that's infinity. The range. This is where people mess this up quite a bit. See how this arrow is going down forever. And you work this way, down to up. Okay, negative and 2 positive. Okay, so it keeps going down. So does it hit at negative infinity? Yes. It starts at negative infinity. Where does it stop? So keep going up. Where does it stop? Stops at that point, which is 1. Okay. That's your final.